I see them up on the screen. We all listen, but they don't say anything. They look so pretty and free, but we can't think when we are unplugged from the machine. We can't look away from the ones who get paid to stand on the stage, and the people all watch, sit and witness in silence. I get my own thoughts, I don't need to be taught. They don't know what I want. They can't have what I got. I get my own thoughts, I don't need to be taught. They don't know what I want. They can't have what I We can choose what we see on the silver screen. We don't need.
Training's going really well and my fitness is moving on, so I'm happy, no complaints. Last week I did 40k on the erg, this week 45. Last week was all UT2 and this week was a nice balance of UT2 and harder pieces. And part of that was the 30 rate 20 now. This is a pretty standard erg. Most clubs will have this on their training plan. And in fact, most clubs actually do it every week to track improvements. This is my first one back and my first hard erg since getting back into a training plan. So I'm going to talk you through it, hopefully give you some tips, and I'd expect to see some improvement on my performance week on week. Okay guys, so as you watch, I'll just talk through what's going on. So as with any erg, you should be warming up properly. This means a few minutes at least just to warm up your body, get a little bit of a sweat on and get some lactic acid in the muscles. So off the start, I like to take a few strokes nice and hard, get the average down before settling really quickly onto my target split. Now the best way to do a 30 rate 20 is to try and flatline it. That means you're getting basically the same split through every interval, but at the end you're probably finishing hard. Now because I'd not done a hard erg for a while, I decided to play it cautious and start off slightly higher than the target split I wanted, see how I felt, and then bring it down towards the end quite a lot. Again, that's not the fastest way, but because I'm getting back into erging, it's better to do that than to go out really hard, blow up and pull a terrible time. So if we fast forward to 6 minutes, by this point you're well into the piece, you're sat in a nice rhythm hopefully, and you're just churning out those splits, just sat on a really consistent split. I think at this point my split was in the high 153s, but I've chosen to stop it here at 6 minutes because in my opinion this is when you start feeling the pinch in your legs. It's literally this early you already start feeling the lactic acid, so you just got to get used to it. The thing with this piece is it's going to be uncomfortable for quite a long period of time, and you just need to mentally be prepared. At 6 minutes you're going to feel the pain, but you know, it's a gradual build. It's not like horrific at 6 minutes and then you have to survive for the whole piece. So don't worry, expect it and just push through. So if we fast forward to 17 minutes, that's the next checkpoint I feel, because at this point you're starting to lose breath as well, so you're having to search for more oxygen, take deeper breaths while your legs are still burning. This is the problem with the 30 rate 20, it builds up on you slowly and it is a painful one. It's not as sharp as the 2K because it lasts a lot longer, but nonetheless it is really uncomfortable. So what you need to do at this point, if you're erging with other people, just feed off them, feed off the competition, think about your last time and trying to improve on that. You need to really mentally dig in and know that you've only got 12 minutes left. It's not going to get too much worse, and just find that competitive edge. You're doing ergos to get quicker on the water, and ultimately really pushing through in your 30 rate 20 is going to do that. So there's no two ways around it really. You've just got to deal with that discomfort and just really push through. If you can stay on your split, you're going to pull a good time. If you back off at this point, it's all going to go wrong, so just stick with it, you can do it. Let's fast forward again to 8 minutes to go. This is a good point I feel to start pushing on for the finish. Just lowering the split by 1 to 2 seconds, not going absolutely all out because you might blow up early, but I started to drop the split by 1-2 seconds, and I just felt like when there's only 2K to go, you really feel like you can just push through, finish it off strong. All those doubts seem to fade away and you just sort of, the end is in sight, you start pushing hard. And if you go nice and early, so if you go with 8 minutes left, you've got more of a chance of actually bringing down that split. If you leave it to the last 2 or 3 minutes, you're not going to be able to make much impact on your average. And finally, let's fast forward to the end, and I went all out, all effort in with about 4 minutes left. I just mentally thought of this as 1K, even though it's slightly longer than that. But just really put it all out there. You've got to stay on rate. If you go up to rate 21, then you're cheating the test and you know your score might not be valid. So you've got to stay on 20 but just really empty the tank. As you can see, my form broke down towards the end. I've really been working on this, so obviously if you've seen my old videos, my erg technique used to be so bad and I've really been trying to work on that. Like a lot of UT2 mileage, one of the best things about it, other than bringing fitness up, is that you can really practice your technique. You can improve errors on the ergo. So for me, it's taking the catch up with my arms and shoulders. I've been really working on staying loose at the catch. Obviously it broke down towards the end of this, but you know, so what? I had to just pull it in. So I've been working on that, and ultimately you'll go faster if you can take it with your legs. I really managed to bring the split down, so I was sat sub 150 for the last probably 2 minutes and managed to take a couple of points out of my average split. So I was happy about that. I finished up on 152.9, just shy of 8,000 meters. That's not a personal best, but it is quite encouraging considering that I've not done any hard ergs lately and I'm just getting back into a training cycle. So I'm happy, and as I said, expect to see improvements coming up. Hopefully that's given you some insight and some tips into doing a 30 rate 20. As I said, you'll probably find this on your training plan if you're not doing it already, because it's very common. A lot of coaches like to do it in the winter, so give it a try if you've not already, and I hope you enjoyed that little commentary.
Right, I mentioned the other day that the rowing machines upstairs, a lot of them, well, all of them are broke, none of the memories were. Just checking if anyone had like done anything about it.